Hello and welcome to Ion Issues. And of course, it's another interesting day for us to look at the different things that might bother you as a Nigerian. Today, particularly, we will be looking at the business world and how technology has made significant transformations, and particularly for those who have been able to employ technology to make useful innovations and, of course, advance the businesses. We'll be looking at the different things that you can use technology to do, and particularly we'll be looking at a very important subsector of the Nigerian economy, talking about the artisans. Looking around our environment, these particular group of businessmen and women providing different products and services are all around us, and there is no saying that we cannot survive on a daily basis without the products and services that they bring to our daily needs. My name is Frank Cizadid, and I'm delighted to be your anchor on Ion Issues. And of course, you know we come to you live on Spectrum Television, broadcasting live on Start Times, DTH Channel 421, and of course of ASVAN in Akwa Ibom State. Of course, is none other than Pastor Esu Efie. Amongst other things, is a publisher and of course a speaker of no mean repute. Hello, welcome to Ion Issues.
Thank you, sir.
Good to have you join us again.
Always good to be here.
Okay, so today we know that the landscape in business has changed. A lot of things are now dependent on ICT. The last time you were here, we had a little talk about ASVAN, and I want to believe that a lot has changed. So let's look at ASVAN. How is the artisans community faring in the South region in Akwa Ibom State?
Yeah, thank you. I think the last time I was here on set, I think, was prior to the election period, while campaign were going up and down, and we're thinking of how to position the artisans industry to benefit from what workers app application, and that was a project we have been on for the past 2 years with the national, and rightfully the app has come because technology is fast taking a fast lane. We need to catch up with technology, especially the artisans. You know, we are informal sector as they call us, but we are also the engine room of any economy globally. And we have put ourselves in the line of technology for some time now. No thanks particularly to the recent cashless flow that rocked and ruffled a lot of things, and businesses are still trying to come out from the shock that was set in. But those are part of the things we're on hand. We don't really have accounts. When I say we, I mean the majority of the informal sector persons don't really have account that they push their money, or a business that they run. They are just handwork people. We try to make sure that we put all those in perspective. That led us to the introduction of what we call ASVAN Workers App, which is just an application to connect people to make sure that we are in line with the new breed technology.
Okay. Now let's talk about. I'm pretty excited about the ASVAN Workers App, and we know that apps do a whole lot of things for the different organizations. So let's look at the composition of the ASVAN Workers App. What does it compose of?
Okay, we sat down, we tried to, our clients and the providers, which is the artisans and small businesses. We looked at it. Two things came in view. Number one, we need to look for people that are qualified to be able to do what? Go be employed. Their services to be employed. Because we have noticed recently that we are exporting, or is it exporting or importing more of artisans, which is drilling and leading to more of unemployment.
We have less number of persons who are competent enough within the artisan subsector? Is it lack of training or lack of opportunities or lack of the will on the minds of individuals to, gain more knowledge and be more professional?
Or like a person. Lack of training, because in this climb, so unfortunately, we have worked with them over some time now, at least over 5 years. We believe that we know too much, so we don't want to learn more skills. As a plumber, I believe before I started even training on plumbing with ITF as an instructor, I went back to look at how do I change the landscape of plumbing? How do I change the landscape of painting? I see this foreign national come in and they know how to do it. Yes, you may know how to do it, but do you know the management skill in it, the communication skill? All those are part of training, but our people don't see it. They feel, oh, I can do the work. I took a plumber to work with me in one of the establishments in Akwa Ibom here, and I took one of my students also. I said, okay, please, I'm going out. Let him know what is all is going across appliances. And he looked at it and he said it's a 2 double T fitting. I laughed. I said, who told you that? He said, the plumber. I said, okay, I called the plumber. I said, what is that? He said, sir, is it not? I laughed. I told him, that's why you need to say, sir, we just know the work, we don't get the training, So that's really there. The people we're training right now from end build and training, they hardly come out for the training. All they want the stipend. And I told them, no, that is where we are missing it. Government is giving you now opportunity. And you don't want to come to get land and get certified. Number 3, you mentioned something, escaped me. Our willingness, I've said that, and the financial implication for training.
Okay, now in this part, since you're mentioning financial implication, you've mentioned that you're involved with the ITF, that is the Industrial Training Fund, and you've been involved in other government-funded training. So why are people not taking advantage? I mean, the funding is there, and all you need to do is just make yourself available to learn and then get certified and then get the stipend to start up your business.
Number 1, when you give them a starter pack, what kind of starter pack are you giving to them? We have queried that. Number 2, when you nominate people to come for training, are you nominating people that have interest and passion, or you are nominating people that you want to use to fund your ego as a political stalwart in your era? Those are the issues that you have been faced with.
So how is your organization, ASVAN,
now, as others that are already in the trade that needs what? To be upgraded, to be certified, because they have the knowledge. All we need to do is just to upgrade them a little bit so that they can have that certification. Because outside this climb, if you go out of this country without certification, you cannot work even as an housekeeper. And most people don't know that housekeeping is part of artisanship. It is. It is in safety, it is in artisanship, even this nanny. But you see, when we don't give those priorities and when we talk, our attitude has to change. Our people, sometimes they are willing, but the opportunities are not there. And sometimes they are not willing and the opportunity is there. It's a win-win or lose-lose.
So how is ASVAN propelling or trying to balance or bridge the gap that we are facing when we have opportunities or we don't have the competent and passionate individuals to learn, or we don't have the opportunity and yet we have people who are willing to learn?
That leads also the introduction of the artisans, which is ASVAN Workers app. The app now is just like working with Uber or thereabout. If you are not qualified, I cannot do what? employ your services.
Okay, so to be enrolled on the app,
yeah,
one first has to be qualified. Okay.
You have to be qualified artisan, certified. If you don't have the means to be trained, we meet with the government agencies and do what? And ask for what? Rebate, or what do you call it again?
Incentives?
Incentives to okay, if your certification is 20,000, can you give us as artisan as we're coming in bulk?
Okay. So now, having that training and being on the app, a lot of people would say, yes, the app is there, I have a training, and I've enrolled on the app. What's the guarantee that I will be contacted via the app?
It's a two-way. Patronize our people. That is where policy comes in. Let me just spell it out. We are also right now working on policies that will promote what? Local content is done how do they call it now? Best practice in the world.
International best practice.
International best practice in the world. You don't come to my environment, you don't come to my state, you don't come to my country with your labor force. You can come with your management force or your top supervisors, but when it comes to the work, there are qualified artisans. You don't just go to the street to pick. And you just recently we had a meeting with a Standard Organization of Nigeria, and there was a workshop in Calabar. Just after the workshop, just yesterday, there was another building collapse. And we began to ask ourselves, why? A current engineer handled that project. How come? Everything was done with specification. But why did that building collapse again? The 7 buildings that collapsed in Lagos, I said, why? Somewhere along the line, there was what? What is a good word to use? Somebody neglected his role, whether in the mixing, whether in the laying, because an unqualified person had been introduced. Somebody compromised, yeah. Somebody compromised the system somewhere. And that is what we're saying. Now, before you climb that podium to work in this structure, you must show your what? Minimum certification. To show, okay, I am competent enough, because not everybody that goes out there. Yes, you may have been trained, but out-trained. I thought I'm working with a plumber that has put years, sitting that connects what? 3 pipes, or rather 4 pipes, but 1 supplying to 3 different channels. But if you don't know it, and you go to a field, a plumber that don't know the difference between a drain and a waste, and they say all of them, they are waste. No, I told them no. A drain is for kitchen, a waste is the one that carries the poo. Because if you go to an industrial site and they say, okay, go and fix, you don't know, because man.
Okay, so there are 2 categories of qualifications we're talking about. Now we're talking about the certification, and then we're also talking about licensing. So what are the distinctions between these 2? What does it require?
Yeah, I am certified. Yes, that means I am competent. Now, I am licensed. That means I am now working with a professional body. An association of skilled and vocational artisans now license you with SON, licensing you, ITF certifying you, because ITF is like a training and ambit. SON is like a certification body. Because
came out within the course of, I think, the last 2 weeks, when the federal government planning to clamp down on foreign nationals currently in the country who are not adhering strictly to the local content and the expatriate quota agreement that they have with Nigeria. Now, how will that, in the case where the federal government is able to implement the policy, how would that be of benefit to artisans in Nigeria?
Wow, that will be of enormous benefit, because Nigeria is a construction site. Every state is building, every state is constructing, every state is doing in and out. And you now bring your foreign national, let me not call,
the expats.
Yeah, they call them expatriates. but they are just expatriate because I brought them in from, let me say, I brought my people from Lagos to Akwa Ibom. Those people that I brought from Lagos to Akwa Ibom, they are now expatriates compared to Akwa Ibomites. Not that they know the job or they are more skilled than the people that I brought them to meet, but because I have given them a little leverage and they are coming from an expatriate, you believe they are expatriate. And when that happens, you now render the people in that climb jobless. If you bring your plumbers in, you will bring your painters to be fair enough to them, because in their climb they are harsher than us. If you are fair enough, you give them 70-30. You bring 70% of your workforce, and we bring 30% of the labor force. No, 70% of the labor force. You bring 30% of your workforce for supervision and that will now help, so that you know when these people are coming. We are talking of Ibaka Deep Seaport, for cry out loud. I've been advocating, I've been writing series of letters. Let's put our people, let's prepare them for this. Because those people that are coming, I believe the government is hearing us right now. Those people that are coming, they are coming with certified people. We say it's a port, everybody will work. No. Even or the chain of business. If you don't know it, you go there and you collapse every structure. So those are very important. If you go out of if you go to Lagos ports, even Port Harcourt there are people that don't cross this boundary because you are not qualified to go there. You don't know what is happening there. So because you can carry the block, no, there is a way and pattern. You have to carry the block on the deck.
For become a reality is a great concern to all Akwa Ibomites. But I also know that there are concerns to who Akwa Ibomites or which of our people or what category of work will be available to our people when we are not, as a people, being intentional and deliberate about, training our people ahead of time when the Ibaka Deep Seaport or the Ibom Deep Seaport, or whatever name the government will give it eventually, does come into fruition. But we move away from that. It's a good thing that we now have ASVAN Workers app and bodies that are responsible for this. But let's talk a little bit about standardization. What does it mean and what does it take for me as an artisan to be standardized by the Standard Organization of Nigeria?
The Standard Organization of Nigeria, we are what we call IS International Standard Practices, where to pick up this pin to this point, there is a process. You don't just wake up and pick up this pin to this point. I was speaking with my painter, and I told him we're painting, and I went to because by my training in painting, I'm not allowed to paint, and this paint spill over here, even by quarter of an inch. It's not standard. The man that built this table, you saw the way he built it, well curved. There's a standard way, there's a standard product, there's a standard tools to use in making this table. Anything out of it is out of standard. There's a standard spray because of the chemical involvement that you need to spray. My pastor's office and somebody, good carpentry work, but the smell work.
Okay, now we have another difference, a standard and a good one. So a job can be good without meeting up with the standards.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's head back to another area. I know that we've talked about the Workers app and what it will mean for the artisans, but then there is an area that we cannot afford to look into, and that is the area of the trustworthiness on the part of these artisans. Now, we already know some of the issues that we have with artisans around us. They never deliver on time. They're never straightforward, mostly never sincere. Now, what guarantee should I have as a Nigerian or as a user of the Workers app applying to get some services from that app? What measures are you putting in place to ensure that people who enroll on that app do not discredit the work of others who are going to be serious with their business?
Well, we'll put a check, a rating, a raters column there. When you employ my services and you find me not competent enough, 50%. trustworthiness. So the next person that is seeking for my services
He's already seeing
is
the
already
rating.
seeing my rating. So you cannot go for such a person. So you have to go back and rework yourself to make sure that you build your trust up again. Then we also put in, and we are still trying to tidy it, a security whatever now check in the app. Sorry to say this, I got news some time ago, and we're still investigating to be too sure, that there is a certain building that artisans don't work there. I say, why? They say they have noticed that once people go in there, they are likely will not. People that goes in there are now used for slaughters. And sometimes artisans also, we have heard of a case, I think the pharmacy or whoever that was killed in a house in a shelter Africa some 2, 3 years or 4 years ago. And all those are checks we are putting in the app. You are using the app, you are employing me as an electrician, and you click in. The moment you click in and the time you come out, if you stay longer than necessary, security beep.
Okay, now that is taking me to the issue of security. Yes, we know a lot of criminal activities is ongoing in Nigeria. Yeah. And in as much as we know that the Nigerian security forces, from the police to the military, are doing their part to ensure that we still have safer society, we cannot negate the fact that security is of critical importance. And with what people are currently experiencing with a lot of online transactions, the security agencies to know when an artisan has been contacted, and then when he steps into the building, or the person that is contacting him for that job, and then when the person leaves. Now, one would ask in Nigeria, this is going to be dependent on network, on the availability of the internet, right? Yeah. So, in the situation that the internet fails, what happens?
Or the person around there short circuit his internet facility so that you don't, once you get into that place,
nobody gets
access to you. Then that is also a security threat. If you have contacted me already and we're already in business, and all of a sudden my network goes off, the security agencies should know, go there, put your focus. It just comes because he has gotten, oh, there's a breach here. This person got in here and all of a sudden his system has packed out. They just come to that house as if they're just doing routine check. Yeah, how are this? We just came around. We just, oh, how are you doing? Everything okay? We just want to check around. They have already gotten the intel. So they just, oh, everything's okay. So, okay, no, sorry, ma'am. Can we just check around your house? We add something, because you know that maybe the user is not in danger, but the artisan now is in danger, because they want to know who is working there. Is there somebody there? And they stay around to monitor your this thing. I think we'll get there.
Okay, it is a good hope to have, especially as we are all looking forward to having a better Nigeria with all of the amazing things happening. If you just join us, this is Iron Issues coming to you live on Spectrum Television. And you can join the conversation and ask our guests a question. Of course, the phone lines will be rolled out on the screen for you to join. You can also send a WhatsApp message, and we'll be delighted to take those messages. Serious helping, and of course, need serious reorientation in terms of functioning as a group of businesses that have been able to employ a lot of people in Nigeria. We have to take our minds back to the statement made by the federal government to look into some other time. But we're going to short break. When we come back, Iron Issues continues live on Spectrum Television. Stay with us. sector in Nigeria and the different issues bordering on their growth and development and how we see them. And of course, how they can take advantage of technology to grow their businesses and advance to a stage where they can be recognized and treated as Nigerians, the trade people we bring outside the shores of the country into Nigeria. We're all lamenting that the expatriates, or so-to-called expatriates, are coming into Nigeria and taking the jobs that we should be doing. And we've seen this happening in different sub-Saharan countries where it gets to a point violence sometimes do spread out as a result of people saying, yeah, the foreigners are coming into our country and they're taking a job. But we are blessed in this country. We're never going to get to that point. But for us to not get to that, we do not just get these skills, but we take the extra step to get certified and then get licensed by the relevant government agencies. This, of course, will put us on the same pedestal with the foreign expats that are being brought into the country. And then we can stand at par with them when it comes to professionalism, when it comes to competence, when it comes to trust, when it comes to performance and perfection. My guest today is the South-South Zonal Coordinator of ASVAN, and of course, he's based in Akwa Ibom State. His name is Pastor Esu Afie. We just talked about the ASVAN Workers app that, of course, he's enumerated a lot of features that are available. But coming back, we've talked about what the artisans themselves would need to be part of this great move. And of course, we know where that is going up. But let's look at outside of the mobile app, outside of the workers app that has been created. And the most interesting thing I like to say is the fact that this is coming from the national level down to the sub regions. And that means everybody in Nigeria who is an artisan who has done due diligence will be captured. Yeah. So it is not limited to the South-South region. It's not limited to Akwa Ibom. It is an all Nigerian thing. But then let's look at another aspect. Today, the service. How are the artisans utilizing these different technologies? Let's talk about the social media. Are your people utilizing the social media to grow their business?
Well, when we talk about utilizing the social media, do we even understand the social media? Our UNIDO entrepreneur director called me and said, so I will give you a task to see how you can train some of your people on the use of circular economy. We're trying to work it out in their trade, which we are also trying to see how we can break that. Is it a yoke? Is it a
jinx?
Or is it a limitation? You see, somebody has worked at. This is not because I want to snap. It's because I want to make my business to be present in the social space. And I know I have done one or two things, my painting job and my plumbing job and my electrification job, and I posted it, and people say, wow, Pastor, you are going, and somebody say, Pastor, which is your call? I say, okay, Smith Wigglesworth was a plumber, and I'm doing my plumbing work. Jesus was a carpenter. Before, when the carpenter work has full, now launch into we use that. But using of the social media, we are still using the analog phone, and I tell them even the analog phone or the smaller phone that you use, you can still make use of them. Do bulk SMS and broadcast your businesses to your clients. It's still social media and running around people. You stay in your house and you use your Facebook, snap your business, film yourself, cover yourself when you're doing your business, and you push it out. Somebody may like the way you do your things. You take yourself out. When people come, I employ some painters to work with me. I say, they say snap me. I say, I will not snap you because you are not meeting the standard, global standard. I cannot say I am working with you. Standard practices, you put all your regalia on, and somebody sees you in Ghana, in Togo, in Abuja, and say, wow, I want to employ this person. It looks clean, it looks good, it looks decent to work with. That is what we are saying. Use your WhatsApp. We are trying to make them, but they don't see, we call this eat and run, right? They call something like eat and run or punch and kill. Oh, you see me, you use me. You don't see me, leave me. At least I can get the 2,000 job. The 2,000 job, that man that you want to employ you, I go to my net, to my site, and I see new technology in all these aspects. We have just like somebody that is coming to, I've asked them to come and train us, but the money is a little bit high, but we're trying to see how we can get a discount for training. We have left this era of sinking 44 meters by 3.5 meters sock away. All those things also leads to collapse of building. We have left that era. So if we and manure and this, I think so. Our social media handle is what we're after this unveiling and unbundling of the app. I think the next we want to do is to go, we drive it. It is taking us time, it is painful, but we have to push the pain out to get the gain.
Now, I have to ask this question about the social media because it is one thing for you to be on the app. Does the app has an interface that now connects to your personal social media? Because and then another question I'd like to ask eventually would be, does the app gives opportunity for people to sample their work? Because a lot of persons will want to see, okay, yes, you have been enlisted on the app, so what guarantee do I have to follow you? So that first thing is, okay, make provisions for that.
Can I open the app and show you, sir?
No. Okay. I think I can't have access. I wish you had told me the app was very much ready. I probably would have had our technical guys look into it, and then we probably would be having it on the screen.
No, all those features are there.
Okay.
Because you have an opportunity to showcase your skill, your work. Because plumber, or you are a welder, or you are a barber, you must put a clip of where you're barbing. If it's not decent enough, nobody will tell you come to my house and barb me when they see that you're shabby in your presentation. So we also work on them on content. The person that was supposed to come to me and came late, work a visible social media handle. We create it for you. I think this is what sells now and promote people business more. I think it's the Instagram. I don't know, but we can put it there and push it in. How to also use your Facebook to project yourself and connect to the app. So when somebody goes to the app, it gets to your Facebook, or when somebody gets to your Facebook viewing you, it knows that, oh, you are in this app, or I can contact you. It's not easy to bend a man when he's grown.
Well, I'd like to commend what Asvan is doing from the national level to the South-South zone to Okwabam State, and the good work all of you are doing. But then I'd like to ask another very pertinent question. How are the artisans keying into these trends, these emerging changes?
Well, like I said, technology has been there for ages, but we are just waking up to it. And the artisans, over the past 2 years, we have been bringing them at par with technology. They are trying to embrace it. It's not easy to tell an old man that his name is no more Esu Efi, that his name should be Peter. Whenever they call Peter, he's lost. So I think we are going there. We are gradually we'll get there. I think before the next administration that is coming in, before the next 4 years, I think we would have perfected a lot of things. Artisans would have woken up. I just believe that the government should do where we'll begin to engage our local content, because we don't engage our local content. We don't engage our local content. The government is building like a Dakada estate, and you don't engage your own artisan process. They may not be the #1 medicine there, but they will grow in the process. And if you don't engage them, they now feel what after all, same old thing. Let me just go and do what I'm doing and just keep surviving until the day I exit the world. The government have a role to play. We have our own role to play. If government patronizes me more, I think I'll be able to up my game more, because I know somebody is interested in my work. Then I want to go and invest more on that work. I want to go and invest on tools that, instead of cracking the wall with part of the integrity of that building from foundation. You don't know. As a geologist, I know that very well. Every small sound, if you put a sound that is more than this room, you are already tampering with the integrity of this room. It just takes time. That is safety. And you know, when they keep cracking, they want to put the pipe, they want to put the electrical pole. You don't need to crack. You just need to use your tool. Pew! You open it up, and the integrity of the building is still intact. And when you crack those walls open, and you now carry plaster, mortar, and plaster it, you have increased the weight load. I don't know if I'm teaching somebody's work now. It's not that they use substandard equipment.
Okay, so we're talking sometimes that these small petty things that people do in the process of refurbishing homes, in the process of, you know, re-strategizing or you know, repositioning things, or probably in the process of refixing, you know, maintaining the house, does lead to, you know, causing damage to the house itself.
Definitely. Wow. Definitely so.
Okay, I'm hoping that somebody has gotten the message, and of course that you will take a big lessons from this. This is Iron Issues, and we are gradually winding down to the last part of our conversation before we call it a day. But has to touch on it. Visibility, branding are very critical. Now, you've talked about the fact that your organization is currently in the process of helping the artisans understand the need to be on the social media. But then you can be on the social media and then your presentation, your branding doesn't match. But if you also have to talk about branding, it goes down to a requirement.
Right now, it's not a major criteria. As a provider, I went into the app, I subscribed into the app as a provider. I have my company, we're into building and environmentals. I am registered, but I registered myself as my company, and some other people register themselves just as individual because they don't have a registered company. But we are doing our best. During the COVID period, we tried to see how we can. We registered up to 300 artisans, businesses, and we are still trying to do more. We are still encouraging them. Don't wait for government, build your business, because without a business name, minimum.
People, because I know having a business name, being registered, having, you know, your business registered with the government of the day is also a very important role to gaining the big jobs. So if you're anticipating playing in the big leagues, you have to be willing to make the sacrifices. But it comes down to play in the big league. These are things that they must, as a matter of urgency, address.
We do that periodically as we meet in our meetings. And one of the things I also tell them is sometimes you don't need to go solo, because for you to win a league, a football match, it is not only the Osimhen that Osimhen cannot beat 11 players to go and score a goal. You need a team. You need somebody. We have seen mergers, banks merging, oil company merging. It's not. But we don't want, we just want, I am a plumber. No, you can, a plumber, merge with a painter, merge with an electrician, merge with a block molder, and you form a company. Wherever they are having a plumbing job there, you're having this job there.
So when you're going to bid for the job, you're bidding with all of the experts and the competent hands available. Wow.
So we tell them that, but sometimes you can force a horse to the stream or the water pot, but you cannot force the horse to drink. We keep doing our best, and we believe with time they will understand.
Well, we do hope with time they get to understand, because if there is anything that we need in this country is for the quality of entrepreneurs that we have who are able to build sustainable business brands, which of course will employ the different people that we have. Well, it's getting to the point where we've got to wrap, but I'd like to ask at this point, what would be your advice to the government of the day? I know President-elect Ahmed Bola Tinubu has said he's going to focus a lot of attention in the MSME sector. He's going to focus a lot of attention on the entrepreneur and the same way Senator Akono. They've also promised that they're going to be connecting the dots and they're going to focus on entrepreneurship. One of the things that I've even gotten the sidelines and comments from the people has been the fact that the governor-elect has said, if the government comes in to support your business, we are going to paint your business building. So people know that you've gotten grants, you're being helped by the government to maintain your business. So what would be your advice to this incoming administration at this critical point?
Well, I'll just ask them, like somebody had told me, that I don't just talk the talk, I walk the talk. I want them to walk the talk. We have seen the president-elect do a lot of work in Lagos State. We believe that given what he knows how to pick out talents and build it. Let him speak. He speaks with grace. I've seen his antecedents. I've seen a lot of things. The deputy Senator Akone, I've heard let's give it to them. They have the idea, but it's one thing to have the idea, and it's another thing to translate the idea to you have to develop them, you have to look for them, you have to put them through, not just throw the money. Yeah, you can paint my building, yes, to make sure that this one you will not escape. But it's not about painting of the building. You can paint the building and the building is still rot inside. The person is not even making it. Do you follow up the person to make sure, I've said it again and over and again, and he's not just giving us the grant, he's not just giving us the loan. I don't even like grants much. Give us the loan and give them timeline and monitor them. Even the banks fail in that aspect. When you give somebody 500,000 naira or 1 million naira, don't just go and wait. Help the person to grow his business to a certain stage. I heard Ali Baba as begin to wind up also. I heard Ali Baba said something. It's one of the challenge we have even as African business people. We want to start a business today and make it just that same day. He said, give your business, I used to say, give your business 2 years gestation period. The third year, you begin to look at profit, because I'm a businessman. I have seen it true. But if we can give our business 5 years, give your business 5 years timeline. If you get you can get a job from the federal government or even from one big company for 10 million and you make the profit. But if you don't have, Prunion is the person that has mastered the art of raising his business, standardizing his business, making his business to be able to produce and sustain itself. That is an entrepreneur. It's different from what we are calling entrepreneurs.
All right, it's been a refreshing moment having this conversation with Pastor Esuefia, the South Regional Director, Coordinator of ASVAN. And yes, we have been touching on issues bordering on technology and how the artisan subsector in Nigeria can utilize it to grow sustainable business brands. My name is Frank Cizidet, and I'm wishing you a lovely time. Stay tuned for the rest of our programming on Spectrum TV. And if you're an artisan, please ensure that you don't just get trained to get certified, but you also get licensed, because we have a lot of opportunities available, and you can only make yourself available when you're competent, proficient, and available. To have an interesting time, stay tuned to Spectrum TV. From me to you is bye-bye.